What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another brand new video, my friends. So in this video I will be talking on how to successfully breed golden finches. Okay, so I had done a video previously, but I want to talk this breeding process much detailed about this bird. Okay, so before I talk about breeding, guys, these birds are native to southern Australia, which means that's the country in which these birds live by making their habitat. Okay, so I hope you guys got an idea about where these birds are living. So now let's focus on how to breed this bird. Okay, so number one is identifying the males and females. Okay, guys, when you're identifying males and females, make sure your birds are at least 1 year of age, because when you're also choosing for breeding, that's the suitable age which you can identify males and females. So make sure you have to give them time. When they're at least 1 year of age, you can identify males and females. Okay, guys, I hope you guys are familiar with this, but now let's talk how can we really identify it. Males will have brighter colors. They will actually have, like, as you guys can see in this picture, the males dark and this more vibrant colors. The left side one is a male, right? I hope you guys can check this out. And the right side one is a female with more dull color, which means the female doesn't have more vibrant colors as the male. Okay, so hope you guys are familiar with how to identify males and females. So let's move on to number two, which means setting up their cage. Okay, so it's more good if you choose a rectangular wider cage, because it will actually provide your birds a lot of space, which means they'll need to have space, right? You can't probably breed a bird by providing him a small cage. It's really important you provide them a wider cage. A rectangular one is really perfect, right? As you guys can see in this picture. So when you set up the cage, the next up is putting a suitable breeding box, right? You gotta have this. So in this picture, you might be familiar with how the size when you're going for the breeding box. So don't choose a small one as you're providing for zebra finches, because these are Gouldians. They're like probably the size of Java finches, right? I hope you guys know Java finches. So Gouldian finches are also the same exact size of them, but they're different. So you have to provide a breeding box which is ideal for your Java finches, which means that's the proper size, right? As in this picture. So next up is food, right? Food is really important, right? You have to provide the right food in order for successfully breeding. So in this picture, you might be familiar with what are the types of food you have to provide, right? You can provide them carrots, which contain a lot of protein, minerals and vitamins. Carrots are good, and apart from other types of leaves, lettuce, these work really perfectly, because the nutrition is the key when you're breeding your birds, which means it results in healthy babies, right? For as a vitamin supplement, you don't have to give them artificial vitamins, right? They can be costly, they can sometimes be harmful for birds. So I mean, try to go for the natural way. Try to give them fruits, right? And here are also a picture about things that you should avoid, right? See this picture. I hope you are familiar with what are the things that should not be given to birds. Okay, guys, so now let's skip that. Now let's go for the most important part, guys. You have to give them the hard-boiled egg, right? It's really important because it contains the actual amount of vitamins, calcium, protein, which is mostly essential for your bird when you're breeding, right? Make sure you doesn't throw the eggshell, and you have to crush the eggshell, the egg white, and the egg core, and give your birds, right? Make sure you give a hard-boiled egg. And the next up is the Cuddle Bowl. Guys, the Cuddle Bowl is really plays an important part in breeding birds. I mean, apart from breeding, this Cuddle Bowl provides them the actual amount of vitamins which you should provide, right? So make sure you provide the Cuddle Bowl when you're breeding your Gouldians. Okay, so now let's go for number 4, which means the nestling materials, right? Okay, so in number 2 we spoke about the cage setup, but in the number 4 we have to talk about this thing in detail, guys. Okay, the nestling materials is really important because if you provide the nesting materials, your birds will really make their nest. I'm sorry, it's not the cage. They will make their nest, and it will also be a fun part to watch. So when you're providing the nesting materials, make sure you go for coconut fiber, which is the key, right? It's actually the most important nesting material, which I can say you guys, right? Coconut fiber is actually important. You can add dried grass, it's not bad, and some pieces of scrap papers, but guys, make sure you provide them coconut fiber because it is actually necessary, right? You have to give them. If you don't have, try to like pick some dried grass, right? I hope you guys can find some in your backyard. So pick some and probably add in the flow, add a little amount inside the breeding box and add some amount in the floor, which means they can pick up and make their nest according to their own method. Okay guys, so the next up is number 5. Number 5 is the cage location. It is really important to place your cage in a place where there's not a lot of noise, right? Probably they can be afraid, right? They can be afraid for cats, predators, and even for cockroaches. Make sure guys you keep your cage in a safe place where there is less noise. So guys, I took this as a point because the cage location is really important, guys. So make sure you keep that in mind and place your cage in a place where that is less noise. Okay guys, so the number 6 is the egg laying process, which also is a really important part. When you provide the nesting materials, they will make their nest, and the next important thing is the egg laying, right? They will probably lay eggs, right? When their eggs are laid, guys, don't try to disturb them, right? Okay, so you guys might check what are fertilized eggs and what are infertilized eggs. So it is okay, but the best method is that, let them choose, right? Let the bird parents choose. Give them time, right? Don't try to disturb the birds. If they're like about 8 or 9 eggs, it's probably fine to check what are fertile and what are infertile, so that your female and the male can probably focus on what are the main eggs. But if there are less number of eggs, for example 4, you don't have to take them and check what are fertilized and infertilized. But if you want to check, here is a picture of how an infertilized egg and a fertilized egg looks. Okay guys, so I hope you guys are familiar with that process. And the next up is the number 7. Don't disturb the parents. Okay, so this is maybe a funny part in my way, but it's really important, guys. It's really important that you doesn't disturb them when they're feeding the chicks, and of course provide them the required amount of nutrition. As I mentioned, you have to provide them the Cuddle Bowl, some millet, provide some finch seed mix for your birds, because when they're feeding their chicks, the food is really important. Okay guys, so that's it guys. Okay, so I don't want to make this video so much long. So these are the key points in how to breed your Gouldian finches. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. So if you did enjoy, make sure to click the like button, guys, and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. So see you guys on my next video, guys. Peace, have a nice day.